Have you ever wondered how two very different countries, one from the icy north of Europe, the other from the tropical heart of Southeast Asia, could become unlikely partners in today's world? That's exactly what's happening between Finland and the Philippines in 2025. What started as Finland quietly asking for help to solve its labor shortages has transformed into something much bigger. A real partnership where both nations gain strength from each other. Today, let's explore how Finland's journey from asking for help has evolved into building partnerships with the Philippines, and why this story matters for the global stage. Chapter 1. Why Finland needed help. Finland often ranks at the very top of global happiness reports, admired for its clean environment, strong education system, and peaceful way of life. But beneath this picture-perfect surface lies a pressing challenge that has slowly built up over decades: its rapidly aging population. By 2025, Finland has one of the oldest populations in Europe. Nearly 25% of Finns are over the age of 65, and the trend shows no sign of slowing down. Birth rates have been declining steadily, and many young Finns choose smaller families, prioritizing careers and personal freedom. At the same time, life expectancy is rising, which is a success story in itself, but it also means more people require long-term healthcare and daily support. This shift creates a double pressure: fewer working-age citizens contributing to the economy and more elderly citizens relying on public services. Hospitals are short on nurses, care homes are understaffed, and local governments struggle to meet demand. Even sectors outside healthcare, like construction and transport, feel the strain because there simply aren't enough young workers entering the labor force. For Finland, the challenge became existential. How could a small nation of just 5.5 million people sustain its prosperity if there weren't enough hands to keep the system running? The solution didn't lie within its borders. Instead, Finland looked beyond Europe to a country famous for its resilience and global workforce: the Philippines. Chapter 2. The Philippines, a nation of caregivers. The Philippines has earned a reputation as the world's global caregiver. Wherever you travel, to the hospitals of London, the retirement homes of Canada, or the bustling clinics of New York, you're likely to find a Filipino nurse or caregiver. This is not by accident. It's the result of a deeply rooted culture that values compassion, respect for elders, and family-centered care. Generations of Filipinos grow up in households where taking care of parents and grandparents is seen not just as duty, but as love in action. That natural empathy, combined with formal training in medicine, nursing, and caregiving, creates professionals who are both highly skilled and emotionally connected to their work. Language is another advantage. With English widely taught and spoken in the Philippines, communication barriers abroad are minimal. On top of that, Filipino workers are known for their adaptability. Whether it's adjusting to different climates, cultures, or even food, they quickly find ways to blend in while still bringing their warmth and resilience. For decades, nations like the US, Canada, the UK, and even countries in the Middle East have relied on Filipino workers to fill critical shortages. These workers don't just provide labor, they provide stability for entire systems under strain. By 2025, Finland realized it needed the very same support. What began as recruitment for nurses and caregivers soon evolved into something richer. It wasn't just about filling jobs, it was about creating a bridge between two nations. Chapter 3. A 7-month journey that changed everything. By 2023, Finland understood that simply hiring workers from abroad was not enough. If Filipino nurses and caregivers were going to succeed, they needed more than contracts. They needed a true path to belong. That's when Finland launched its groundbreaking 7-month integration program, a model that would change the conversation on labor migration. The journey started even before Filipinos boarded their flights. They were given access to Finnish language classes tailored for healthcare and everyday life. This wasn't about memorizing grammar. It was about learning how to comfort a patient, read medical charts, and greet neighbors in their new communities. Once in Finland, the training continued. Workers were paired with mentors, both Finnish and Filipino, who helped them adapt to everything from operating hospital technology to navigating snowy streets during their first winter. Cultural orientation sessions introduced them to Finnish customs, sauna traditions, punctuality, and the deep respect for personal space. At the same time, Finns were encouraged to learn about Filipino culture, fostering two-way respect rather than one-sided assimilation. The results were remarkable. Instead of feeling like outsiders, many Filipino workers reported feeling genuinely welcomed. Families were offered legal pathways to join them, wages were fair, and opportunities for permanent residence were clear. This respectful approach caught the world's attention. Policymakers in Europe, Asia, and North America began studying Finland's model, asking, how did this small Nordic nation succeed where so many others struggled? In Finland's story, Filipino workers weren't just helping, they were becoming part of the Finnish future. Chapter 4. From Dependence to Partnership. By 2025, something remarkable had taken shape. Finland's reliance on Filipino workers was no longer framed as a one-sided solution. Instead, it grew into a relationship of equals, a true partnership. In the beginning, Filipinos were mostly seen in hospitals, care homes, and community health centers. But over time, their presence expanded. Filipino students began enrolling in Finnish universities, bringing fresh perspectives in fields like engineering, IT, and environmental sciences. Skilled professionals entered the tech sector, contributing to Finland's thriving innovation ecosystem. Others launched small businesses, from restaurants to service companies, weaving Filipino culture into Finland's everyday life. This shift didn't go unnoticed by Finnish employers. Many began to actively collaborate with Philippine schools and training centers, ensuring that future workers were prepared not just for jobs, but for meaningful careers in Finland. These partnerships created pipelines of talent while also boosting the Philippines' education sector, with Finnish expertise in sustainability, technology, and vocational training. The Philippines, in turn, reaped multiple benefits. Remittances strengthened household incomes back home. Skills and knowledge flowed back into the country, raising local standards. And perhaps most importantly, diplomatic ties with Finland grew stronger, giving the Philippines a reliable friend within the European Union, a nation respected for its stability, neutrality, and forward-thinking policies. This wasn't about plugging gaps anymore. It was about two nations building a shared future, proving that migration, when handled with respect, can transform dependence into cooperation. Chapter 5. Culture meets culture. When Finland and the Philippines come together, the result isn't just labor contracts or economic exchange, it's the birth of a vibrant cultural blend. At first glance, the two nations couldn't be more different. Finland, a land of long winters, quiet forests, and measured conversations, and the Philippines, a tropical archipelago buzzing with music, laughter, and color. But when these worlds meet, something unexpectedly beautiful happens. Finns are admired for their quiet strength, humility, and a lifestyle deeply connected to nature. They believe in equality, fairness, and giving people space. Filipinos, on the other hand, are celebrated for their warmth, hospitality, and unwavering family ties. When placed side by side, these qualities don't clash, they complement each other. In Finnish cities today, it's common to see Filipino communities organizing fiestas filled with music, dancing, and home-cooked dishes like adobo and pancit. Karaoke nights bring life to otherwise quiet neighborhoods, while Christmas celebrations often last weeks, showcasing the Filipino spirit of joy. In return, Filipinos embrace Finnish traditions, sitting together in the sauna, learning to ice skate, or braving snowy forests for the first time. This exchange goes beyond festivals and food. In workplaces, the Filipino gift for adaptability pairs with Finnish precision and structure. Tasks are not only completed, but often enriched by two perspectives working in harmony. What emerges is more than coexistence. It's a shared identity, built on respect and a willingness to learn from one another. Chapter 6. The Bigger Picture, Global Lessons. The evolving story of Finland and the Philippines is more than a tale of two nations. It's a mirror for the entire world. Across Europe, North America, and even parts of Asia, countries are wrestling with the same challenge: aging populations, declining birth rates, and shrinking workforces. Hospitals lack staff, industries struggle to find young talent, and governments search for answers to keep their economies afloat. But the responses vary widely. Some countries rely on short-term contracts, treating migrant labor as disposable, useful only until the next economic downturn. Others close their borders altogether, choosing isolation over adaptation. Both approaches create tension, resentment, and instability. Finland, however, chose another path. By first admitting it needed help, then building programs that respected workers as people, not just numbers, it demonstrated that immigration doesn't have to be divisive. It can be structured with dignity, fairness, and opportunity. This is the deeper lesson. When nations invest in integration, language training, cultural exchange, and family reunification, they don't just import workers, they welcome future citizens. For the Philippines, this shift is equally powerful. Instead of being seen only as a supplier of labor, it is now recognized as a strategic partner. Its global reputation grows stronger as a nation that not only provides skilled workers, but also helps shape humane migration policies. Together, Finland and the Philippines show that global problems can be solved not by walls, but by bridges built on respect, humility, and cooperation. Chapter 7. Challenges along the way. Like any relationship, the journey between Finland and the Philippines has not been without obstacles. For all the success stories, there have been real challenges that tested the strength of this partnership. The first and most obvious barrier is language. Finnish is one of the hardest languages in the world to learn, with its complex grammar and unique vocabulary. For many Filipino workers, mastering it takes time, and the early months can feel overwhelming. Simple conversations in hospitals or grocery stores sometimes turn into stressful moments of miscommunication. Then there's the integration pressure. Imagine leaving behind the tropical warmth of Manila or Cebu and suddenly facing Finland's long, dark winters. The cultural shift is dramatic: quiet neighborhoods, shorter days, and a lifestyle that values privacy over constant social interaction. For newcomers, loneliness can become a hidden struggle. On top of that, economic concerns linger. Some Finns worry about competition for jobs or pressure on public services, while some Filipinos fear being undervalued or stuck in lower positions despite their skills. But what makes this story different is how both nations tackled these issues head-on. Finland invested in free language classes, cultural orientation sessions, and mentorship programs to smooth the transition. Filipino communities responded by building churches, cultural groups, and social networks that gave newcomers a sense of home. Rather than dividing them, these challenges became opportunities to innovate and strengthen bonds, proving that true partnerships grow not in perfection, but in persistence. Chapter 8. Looking ahead. What 2025 and beyond hold. As Finland and the Philippines step deeper into 2025, their partnership is no longer defined by urgency, it's defined by vision. What began as a solution to a labor shortage is now shaping up to be a long-term alliance with global implications. Experts see three major developments on the horizon. First, more sectors will open up. While healthcare remains the backbone, opportunities are expanding into Finland's tech industry, renewable energy projects, and even education. Filipino teachers, engineers, and IT specialists are increasingly sought after, not only for their skills, but also for their adaptability in Finland's forward-looking economy. Second, the partnership may no longer be one-directional. A two-way exchange is emerging. Finnish universities and companies are exploring the idea of sending students and professionals to the Philippines. The Philippines, with its fast-growing tech hubs and renewable energy initiatives, could become a surprising destination for knowledge sharing, research, and innovation. Third, and perhaps most significantly, is stronger diplomacy. On global stages, whether the issue is climate change, workers' rights, or sustainable development, Finland and the Philippines are finding common ground. One brings Nordic stability and influence within the European Union, the other brings the voice of a dynamic Southeast Asian nation with millions of citizens living abroad. Together, they are stronger. In short, the relationship that started as a cry for help has transformed into a handshake of equals, two nations, vastly different yet united by trust, respect, and shared goals for the future. Conclusion. The journey of Finland and the Philippines in 2025 is more than just a headline about migration or labor. It's a living example of how two nations, separated by oceans, climate, and culture, can find common ground and grow stronger together. It began with honesty. Finland admitting, "We can't do this alone." That moment of humility opened the door to something remarkable. The Philippines, with its tradition of care and resilience, stepped forward not just to provide workers, but to extend a hand of partnership. What could have been a temporary fix became the foundation of trust. Today, this partnership stands as a reminder that international relations are not only built on power or wealth, they can also be built on mutual respect, shared values, and human connection. Filipino workers found opportunities and dignity in Finland, while Finland discovered that asking for help can lead to lasting friendships, not weakness. So when you think about the future of nations in a rapidly changing world, remember this unlikely pair: a quiet Nordic land surrounded by lakes and snow, and a vibrant tropical archipelago filled with song and sunshine. Together, they proved that progress doesn't come only from strength, but also from humility, openness, and hope. That is not just a partnership, it's a lesson the whole world can carry forward.